The gigantic, largely autonomous space vessels from the galactic dawn are retained in collective memory. Their epopee surrounds us, inspiring the myths and literature of science fiction. The resonance of the background craft generators of the enormous globes of the Milky Way has been heard. Using a highly sensitive radio telescope, Penzias and Robert Wilson discovered hyperfrequency in 1965, echoes in the form of radio waves coming from the last megabubble. The rotation at 1 million kilometers a second is realized quite unconsciously because the screens of the satellite space vessels do not plot the circular evolution. This rotation is shown as an intergalactic displacement. The renewed constellation is mistaken for a regional constellation. In renewing the relief, the circular evolution has inverted it. The Milky Way is a conglomerate of spheres, generated at the speed of 700,000 to 300,000 kilometers a second. Emitted inversely, it has no core, no massive grey globe. Its suns are unstable magnetic spheres of force which have retained their circular inclination, lit by the breaking of tens of thousands of deferred spaceships. The end of the galaxy is much nearer than one imagines. A simple conglomeration of ancient magnetic spheres emanated at high vibration, then condensed. These nuclear spheres cannot subsist for more than a few tens of millennia. As long as the galaxy turns, the numbers drawn in the cycle of human incarnation will continue. We are the dead of all terrestrial epochs, reappearing via human blood to the third, fourth, fifth or sixth generation of our descendants or ascendants, which explains the importance of blood ties. Today's human beings believe that they can discreetly slip behind the screen of death, but at the time of the disappearance of all livable atmosphere, they will be involved in the building, command, and deployment of the spacecrafts. The divulging of life's mysteries contains the secret of eternal life. Our eternal circular fall into our own void has eternally been renewing the planets which bear us, suns to enlighten us, and the atoms that compound us. The biological molecules are composed of sensitive subatomic with a human face, and not of dead atoms. They are thus predisposed for their marriage with the new blue subatomic spheres. The blue cloud of the minute spheres counter-emitted from 700,000 to 690,000 are recharged with pure primeval energy. An operation on a grandiose scale will complete the Dynamocyclical presumption. Around year 2050, a mothership will be assembled and chartered in a geostationary orbital workstation. The number of individuals who will be able to occupy in person the ark destined for the renewal past will be close to 100,000. A figure which can be achieved in view of the size of the mother ship and relatively short duration of the excursion outside the galaxy. If our planet was reduced to the size of a melon, the extent of the nuclear galaxy would be possibly comparable to the area of the Lake of Geneva. The heavenly gate is at hand, a few billion kilometers below the suns. Sunk into deep sleep in the high security cells for the time necessary to return to the inverse constellation, the forerunners of the new order will live through millions of bodies as long as they want far beyond the suns and the black holes. Thanks to the mixing of their body's substance with explosive organic compatible anti-substances, their bodies are not subject to decay. Then we shall see the fresco of living eternity. Lost in the labyrinth of infinite contradiction, in a state of chronic stupor, the big heads of the scientific and religious academies adjust their antennae. develop their impenetrable jargon and spread a veil of complexity. And their followers wander without hope on the colossal globes which have been created with the sweat of their brows. The complete description of the infinitely great and the infinitely small changes to the aspect of things causes every individual to be faced with a decision either to return to his psychodrama or do a 360-degree turn and eliminate every prejudice, every secular dogma. Step back from gregarious spiritual scientific thought, break away from the current consensus. This is the condition necessary to find oneself one day at the crest of the next wave of constellation. We, wanderer among the coloured spheres, can improve the quality of the future by breaking out of the spiral madness of the galaxy, or impoverish it by following contemporary polytechnocracy into the next massive grey globe hardcore superchord. Guard against ecstasy on star-spangled summer nights. They are simply the clear manifestation of utopian round dynamic which unwinds in the emptiness left